Hello everyone. This video shall show you the computation for one's regular SSS pension. This does not include the now renamed voluntary and mandatory pension boosters. In this video, we shall show sample computations for one's regular SSS pension for eligible SSS members with 10 or more years contributions with the Social Security system. The calculation shall be based on the credited years of service or CYS, the monthly salary credit or MSC, and the average monthly salary credit or AMSC. The credited years of service or CYS refers to the number of years where an SSS member's account have paid contributions made either by an SSS registered employer on the employee's behalf or by the SSS member himself in his capacity as a self-employed or voluntary payer. The monthly salary credit or MSC is equivalent to the salary bracket cited in the SSS contribution table on the basis of the amount contributed by the shared contribution of the employer or the contribution made by the SSS member in his own personal capacity as a self-employed or voluntary payer. Lastly, the average monthly salary credit or AMSC refers to the average of all the SSS contributions made on an SSS member's records. That is one of the significant factors in computing for the SSS member's regular pension when he or she files for retirement pension with the government agency. This is Gardi, and he was part of the security team in a museum. His last salary was 21,000 pesos, and his credited years of service or CYS is 40 years as his employer agency had religiously contributed to his SSS member's account. This is Elsa, and she was a sales clerk in a department store. Her last salary was 15,000 pesos. She has 25 credited years of service or CYS total contributions made by her employer with the SSS. This is May, and she worked as a restaurant worker. She has 10 credited years of service or CYS, with contributions made by her previous employer. Her last salary was 12,000 pesos. Now, we shall compute for Gardi's, Elsa's, and May's regular SSS estimated pension using the first formula and the second formula. The first formula calculation shows the first part of this formula where 20% of average monthly salary credit or AMSC plus 300 pesos, and if the employee or SSS member has contributed or one's employer contributed a total of more than 10 years of SSS contributions, there shall be an additional 1,000 pesos. The second part of the first formula shows 2% of the average monthly salary credit or AMSC multiplied by the credited years of service or CYS in excess of 10 credited years of service or CYS. If the employee or SSS self-employed or voluntary payer only has a total of 10 credited years of service, the second part shall be equivalent to 0 or null. The second formula is simply 40% of one's average monthly salary credit or AMSC. The regular monthly SSS pension of the SSS member shall be the highest amount between the two formulas. Using the first formula, let's compute for Gardi's regular monthly SSS pension. The first part of the first formula shall calculate 20% of his average monthly salary credit or AMSC plus 300 pesos and an additional 1,000 pesos since he worked and has SSS contributions in excess of 10 credited years of service or CYS. The second part of the first formula shall compute for 2% of the average monthly salary credit or AMSC multiplied by 30 years since Gardi worked and has SSS contributions for a total of 40 credited years of service or CYS. And the number of years in excess of 10 years is of course 30 years. Thus, his regular SSS monthly pension using the first formula is 5,500 pesos plus 12,600 pesos equals a total of 18,100 pesos. Using the second formula, let's compute for Gardi's regular SSS monthly pension, that is 40% of the average monthly salary credit or AMSC. Using the second formula, his regular SSS monthly pension is 8,400 pesos. Thus, his regular SSS monthly pension shall be based on the first formula, that is 18,100 pesos, since it is the higher amount computed between the two formulas. Now we'll calculate Elsa's estimated regular SSS monthly pension using the first formula. The first part of the first formula computes for 20% of the average monthly salary credit or AMSC plus 300 pesos plus an additional 1,000 pesos, since her total credited years of service is 25 years, and she has 15 years in excess of 10 years. The second part of the first formula calculates 2% of the average monthly salary credit or AMSC multiplied by 15 years. So, Elsa's regular monthly pension using the first formula is 4,300 pesos plus 4,500 pesos, that is equivalent to a total of 8,800 pesos. This time using the second formula, let's compute for Elsa's estimated regular monthly SSS pension. That is 40% of the average monthly salary credit, or AMSC, which is equals to 6,000 pesos. Now since the first formula has generated a higher amount, Elsa's estimated regular SSS pension shall be 8,800 pesos. Lastly, let's compute for May's estimated regular SSS monthly salary credit. Using the first part of the first formula, we'll calculate 20% of the average monthly salary credit, or AMSC, plus 300 pesos. There shall be no additional 1,000 pesos since there is no excess credited years of service beyond 10 years, as she has SSS contributions made by either herself or her employer for only 10 credited years of service, or CYS. The second part of the first formula, however, shall be 0 since May only has 10 credited years of service, or CYS. Thus, May's estimated regular monthly SSS pension using the first formula is 2,700 pesos. Now, using the second formula, we'll calculate May's estimated regular monthly SSS pension, and that is 40% of the average monthly salary credit, or AMSC, and that is equal to 4,800 pesos. Thus, May's estimated regular monthly salary credit shall be the one using the second formula, since it is the higher amount between the two formulas, and that is 4,800 pesos. We have learned how Gardy's, Elsa's and May's estimated regular monthly salary credit may significantly be affected by the credited years of service, or CYS, the monthly salary credit, or MSC, and the average monthly salary credit, or AMSC. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have learned something. Until next time, have a wonderful day.